homosexuality and crazy outfits on the island of Capri. On the island of Capri! Run, don't walk. I will never be the same, and I will never stop talking about this.
I could give a damn about anything going on in this movie because it was absolutely trash.
It starts off as the worst movie you've ever seen in your entire life, and then it becomes something so unhinged that I've never seen anything like it before.
It's so bad and so dumb.
Blake Lively, y'all, she's not just mad, she's raging. And it's not hard to see why. Another Simple Favor just got quietly yanked from Amazon Prime without so much as a whisper. No announcement, no warning, just gone. And girl, if that's not a sign of how far Blake's Hollywood star has fallen, I don't know what is. Because this sequel, it wasn't just a flop. It was a full-on career funeral dressed in couture. And here's the worst part. Blake didn't crash and burn solo. Oh no, sis made sure Anna Kendrick got dragged right down with her. And we're talking face first into the fire. Like, how do you mess up a sequel that people were actually excited for? Easy, you let Blake Lively take the wheel and drive straight off a cliff. Let's just start with the obvious. This movie should have never existed.
I'm blaming it all on Blake Lively. This has got to be Blake Lively's fault. Because what this shouldn't even be a thing. This should not exist. I'm telling you.
I am reeling and will be reeling until the day that I die. I'm talking psycho triplets. I'm talking incest.
The fact that Another Simple Favor even made it onto Amazon Prime on May 1st, 2024 is a mystery more confusing than anything in the plot itself. Because whatever hit that platform, baby, it was not a sequel. It was a budget season disaster with the fashion sense of a Goodwill mannequin and the ego of someone who thinks wearing a $40 0-cent hat qualifies as character development. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. And don't even get me started on how it was released. Straight to streaming, no theaters wanted it, not even the ones desperate for content. There's not just a red flag, it's a screaming neon billboard saying, run. If the studio won't even spring for a limited run, that's because they know it's a flaming hot mess. They didn't debut it, they dumped it. Which is extra insane when you remember the first A Simple Favor was a smash. It pulled in almost $100 million 0 cents on a modest $20 million 0 cents budget. You'd think they'd at least try to recreate that magic. But nah, Amazon buried this thing like it was a dirty little secret. Like, you had to scroll 3 carousels deep just to find it. You know it's bad when the platform is hiding it like it's a crime scene.
Run, don't walk. I will never be the same, and I will never stop talking about this. If this is her last film, what a bang. Horrible. Amazing. I'll never be the same.
Of course she has.
To be that bad? It was truly like that bad. It's like I said, when the movie gets to points where it's trying to push the plot forward and it's presenting plot points that actually reveal what's going on.
And when people did find it, girl, the reaction was nuclear. What started as a clever mystery thriller turned into a deranged circus. The vibes were off. The acting was off. And even Anna Kendrick's loyal fans, the ones who would normally defend her for blinking, were like, nope, not today. It was giving flop. It was giving, why are you still friends with Blake? And frankly, valid. Let's talk about the plot, if you can even call it that. So Anna's character, Stephanie, is now some big shot true crime podcaster, because of course she is. And we're just supposed to buy that? K. But hold on, because before you can even blink, we're suddenly in Capri. Yes, the island, but not for a vacation. Oh no, they're there for a wedding. That quickly morphs into a chaotic death trap. Like, who greenlit this? Who said, let's turn a murder mystery into a destination wedding fever dream? Because someone needs to be fired. It gets worse. So much worse. We're talking triple identities, fake suicides, psychotic triplets. It's like someone watched The Parent Trap, sprinkled in a few therapy notes, and said, let's turn this into a murder mystery on crack. And let's be real, it's not even suspenseful. It's laugh out loud bad. Not because it's funny, but because it's so unbelievably stupid.
That was like a cartoon. It was like a lot of like frizzy Blake Lively hair, but twice. There's twice the Blake Lively in it. I'll leave it at that. I mean, I'm not gonna leave it at that because here's the other weird, gross thing. There was like very violent, incestual stuff in it.
Every twist feels like it was scribbled on a napkin by a drunk screenwriter at brunch. It's plot holes on plot holes. It's chaotic symbolism. It's clunky dialogue that sounds like ChatGPT glitched mid-sentence. And you know it's serious when even diehard fans of the first movie start asking, is this a joke? Now we gotta talk about Blake, because sis was clearly going for a villain era, and it flopped harder than a flat iron in a rainstorm. She plays Emily like she's auditioning for an SNL skit that never made it past rehearsal. No range, no nuance, just drama hat and whatever that I did it for you monologue was supposed to be. Girl, what? I've seen TikTok girls with $10.00 ring lights and no acting experience bring more emotional depth than Blake did in this entire film. She wasn't deadpan, she was dead inside. Her performance, stiffer than a department store mannequin in a hurricane. Painful to watch, cringeworthy, and deeply, deeply embarrassing. And let's not forget Andy Senor, who usually gives every movie the benefit of the doubt. Even he had to ask, is Blake trolling us? Because it didn't feel like acting. It felt like Blake just being Blake. That smug, know-it-all, holier-than-thou vibe, that wasn't Emily, that was her.
What are you guys doing? I don't know if I've ever seen a movie that bad, and I watched the Joker sequel. This is not me getting on the Blake Lively like hate train or anything like that. Like, honestly and truly, that was really fucking...
Meanwhile, Anna Kendrick is just out here looking like she wandered onto set by accident and got held hostage by Blake's fashion cult. The confusion in her eyes, that wasn't acting, that was real. She knew this was a mistake, she felt the betrayal in her soul, and honestly, we all felt it with her. Because let's get something straight, Anna Kendrick did not deserve this. This woman gave us charm, vulnerability, mystery in the original. She made us feel something, and now she's stuck delivering lines next to a woman who thinks playing 3 versions of herself is art. What used to be cheeky chemistry between 2 polar opposites is now just a hostage negotiation. Stephanie is the wrong Michelle Root on this, from a man who attacks Blake in episode 1 to a woman who seems to drain her while Blake eats the set alive with her smug energy and zero self-awareness. It's not acting, it's torture. So yeah, Blake Lively didn't just flop. She hijacked the whole damn sequel, set it on fire, and then try to convince us it was iconic. This wasn't a comeback. This was a PR disaster. The worst part, Blake still thinks she ate. Sis, you didn't even serve crumbs. You served delusion, and now we're all dealing with the aftermath. And let's talk about the ultimate insult. Anna Kendrick didn't sign up for this sequel just to become a glorified extra in her own movie. She carried the first one. Her quirky awkwardness, her dry wit, the subtle unraveling of her character, that's what made the original work. She was the glue, the soul, the reason we showed up. People loved Stephanie. Anna made her weirdness relatable. She made helicopter parenting seem cool. But now, she's been reduced to some wide-eyed sidekick reacting like a stunned goldfish to Blake's Pinterest board of a performance. It's offensive, it's disrespectful, and it's a straight-up assassination of a character we all rooted for. Whatever chemistry they once had, it's gone. What we get now is 2 co-workers stuck at a company retreat, smiling through the pain because the paycheck cleared. Stephanie spends the whole second act just standing around.
I really wish I had something better to tell you than what I'm about to say. I want to genuinely know what the writers and the producers were thinking when they sat down in the room to write the script for this movie.
Just about anything Anna Kendrick is in, she's wickedly talented, attractive AF, awesome, and just brings this weird, geeky, like, nerdy charm to everything she does, and I just absolutely fall for it every time. I absolutely...
Looking confused, maybe rolling her eyes. The woman is checked out. You can feel it. And honestly, that's not her fault. That's the writing. That's Blake. That's this entire ridiculous production. And Andy Senor, the same critic who literally defended Blake in the first movie, is out here saying this is the first Anna Kendrick project he couldn't get behind. That's huge, because again, it's not Anna, it's the script, it's Blake's ego, it's the half-baked Reddit thread level dialogue that someone clearly scribbled on a Starbucks napkin. And let's be honest, Blake is out here giving one-woman circus energy. Loud, unhinged, dressed in designer coats like she's serving character development when really, she's just yelling louder with every scene and calling it acting. Even her wardrobe feels like it's trolling us. The ridiculous hats, the insane costumes. It's like she robbed a fashion museum blindfolded and strutted onto set like, yes, I am the moment. No, Blake, you're the meme. And while we're on the subject of moments, let's talk about the most cursed scene in the whole damn movie. The kiss. Yes, that kiss. Blake Lively kisses her own triplet, yes, you heard right, a full-on makeout session with herself. And no, it's not satire, it's not deep, it's not art, it's just gross. Who asked for this? Who approved this? This isn't pushing boundaries. This is pushing audiences to turn off their TVs and run a bath to scrub the memory off their skin. It was disturbing, it was unnecessary, it was Blake Lively being allowed way too much creative freedom. This wasn't, look how daring I am. This was, look how far I'll go to stay relevant, and baby, it backfired. Because no one felt shaken. No one felt inspired, they felt violated. One critic even called the movie a psychological threat. And honestly, that might be generous. It's like Blake and the writers opened a cursed file, dragged everyone into it, and called it a sequel. Remember how the first movie had this subtle, weird sibling tension? Yeah, well, this movie turned that into a full-blown fetish. Triple Blake, creepy family dynamics, psychotic wedding chaos, and Blake treating it all like it's just another Tuesday on Gossip Girl.